What do you think about the Bears draft class so far if we back up to the spring and who they took, just a few months ago?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a little bit of mixed results early on. I think we still have to give them a little bit of leeway, but I would say, like, I've seen some good things from Luther Burden. I know that the role has kind of shifted over the course of, just from a playing time standpoint. He's playing behind a couple of pretty talented receivers at the moment. But I'll be interested to kind of get your thoughts. Where are you guys at right now with Colston Loveland? I know the injury was an issue. What have you gotten so far from Colston Loveland through 7 weeks?
I'll sum this up for the show right now, Fran, and that's that they should have drafted Tyler Warren. That's where we're at.
Well, I mean, just look at the production. Now, Colston's been dealing with injuries, but that's part of the evaluation too. I mean, he was hurt as they drafted him, but you got 33 catches, 400 whatever yards. Warren has ahead of here. It's 439, and I think that Loveland right now is at 8 catches for 78.
Yeah, and that's what, I think when you're looking at the health of the Indianapolis passing game and what they're doing out there with Shane Steichen has been impressive, and what they've done so far. And I think that there's a little bit of a factor at play there, whereas Caleb Williams is still coming along. So I think that certainly has something to do with it. He also has Cole Kmet that he's vying for targets with, and then the injury. But yeah, I mean, I had Warren ahead of Loveland back in the spring, so I personally would have taken Loveland. I heard you guys talking a little bit about Ozzie Trapillo as well. He went a little bit earlier than I anticipated. I had a swing backup grade on Trapillo when he was coming out of Boston College this spring, but I loved the Luther Burden pick, and there was a couple other picks thrown in there from Chicago that I did like.
Were you a Manung guy? I forget.
Yeah, I liked him as like a back end roster. I was actually just looking through my final report on him before I jumped on with you guys, just as a refresher. And one of the things that I wrote was, you block it up for 4, he's going to give you 4. Like he's not going to be create your own yardage type of back, but as like a dirty work, like goal line short yardage, play special teams, helping pass pro. Like that's kind of how I envisioned him. Do you guys, based off what you've seen so far, do you think he could be more than that in 2026, 2027?
Yeah, he's made some guys miss at times, but more from like a not like shifty left right, more of a an ability to break some tackles.
He's got a little wiggle.
He's got a little wiggle.
He's got a little wiggle. He's got puts the foot in the ground.
But I think Fran, the I don't know how much you saw of the game against the Saints the other day, but what they finally got out of the running game in that game with sort of a 1-2 punch. I don't want to call it thunder and lightning because it's not really that, but more of a 1-2 punch with 2 different running backs. In fact, Ben Johnson even said yesterday that he doesn't feel like he's calling different run plays for these 2 guys, that they can pretty much run the same thing with either one of them, and they were both very productive in that game.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, he wants to be able to run the football on their terms, and so anytime if they can get to that level, I think that's only going to help Caleb Williams and certainly that pass game, just kind of keep them ahead of the sticks, keep them on schedule. When I've seen the best versions of the Ben Johnson offense, typically they're able to stay ahead of the sticks in that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, you just brought up the fact that you were watching Jadarian Price tape here yesterday, and as a Bears fan and a Notre Dame football fan, last week, my football teams last weekend combined for 528 rushing yards. Notre Dame had over 300 rushing yards between Jeremiyah Love and Jadarian Price, who Bears fans have their eye on both. Obviously, Love is the one Bears fans have been talking about for feels like a year and a half now. So what are you seeing out of both those backs, but specifically since you dove into the tape on Jadarian Price, what are you seeing out of him? And is it fair to suggest he could potentially be the better NFL prospect because of his body structure?
I think that both guys are really explosive and have that big play potential. I do love what Love brings to the table. I think that he is a little bit more of a well-rounded back. I think when you look at Price, he certainly has that lightning capability. Like if you want to talk about thunder lightning, He brings the lightning for sure, and this guy is explosive as all get out. He's got the ability to impact as a receiver, as a runner out in space, and then we know as a returner as well. We saw that on Saturday. He has another kick return touchdown from earlier this year as well. Honestly, as I was watching him, the comp that I had, and this guy ended up going in the first round, was Felix Jones. When Felix Jones was at Arkansas, paired up with Darren McFadden, and it just happened that he was in a great backfield as well at the college level. But I think when you're looking at Price, he excels more in space, and I think that he kind of trends more into the needs space to work, which I would say the same thing about DeAndre Swift. I like what I've seen from Price, though. So far, I'm excited about what I've seen from him. I just think that you can check more boxes with Jeremiyah Love, the pass pro, what he is able to do between the tackles. I think the patience and vision is a little bit stronger there as compared to Price, but both of them are really good players. I feel really good about Love in the first round. I think Price, you're probably leaning into day 2, but we'll see. Maybe that changes as we get through the second half of the year.
Fran, you just took me back. I covered the Capital One Bowl with Felix Jones and Darren McFadden.
I believe that
was back when Wisconsin won games. That was a fun time. My team's only scored 10 points in the month of October.
Yeah.
So that's.
I'm pretty sure Notre Dame set their all-time program record for rushing yards in a game. Notre Dame football. That's not easy to do. 300 yards rushing. It was quite the show they put on against USC.